Hello, yogis. This is Kelly here. I have a 60-minute Vinyasa practice for you today. Thank you for following me on YouTube and thank you for practicing along with me. Props for today, you can always have blocks. Those are nice to have. We will be using a strap. If you don't have a strap, feel free to use anything that you have that would act as a strap. So whether it's a scarf or a tie, that'll work just fine. And we're going to work a little bit today on binding. So we're going to work on shoulders, we're going to work on opening them up. And remember, as we move through this practice, that if something doesn't suit you, feel free to just skip it. You'll get plenty out of this class without ever doing a bind, so no worries if you have tricky shoulders. We are going to start out in a crocodile pose. So you're going to start out on your belly. So you can come down on the belly. Stack the palms and let the forehead come down on the stacked palms. The legs can be as far apart as you'd like. You can let the heels fall apart. We're just going to start to center in here in crocodile pose, taking a couple of breaths. If you saw the playlist in the description, you can feel free to start it now. If you don't want to play music, that's absolutely fine. Or if you'd like to play your own music, feel free to do that as well. Just starting to arrive for your practice in crocodile pose, it gives us a unique opportunity to somewhat turn inward. So just really connect in with the breath. You can feel your breath coming in and out by the belly being attached to the earth. Maybe you feel it pressing down as you inhale. You feel it coming away from the earth as you exhale. And just take a full body scan. So I always like to use a disclaimer, especially when we're going to be working on a shoulder-centered practice. If you do have shoulder issues, if you've had any kind of rotator cuff injury or problem, please take care of yourself here. Know that the shoulders are a delicate joint, so you never want to push anything into the shoulders. We get quite a bit of mobility into the shoulders throughout the day. So just take it to where you can. And I want to ask you if a lot of times in our binds, it's about our proportions more than anything. So if your arms are a little bit shorter relating to your body, you might need to use that strap. And what you're going to use it for is to lengthen the arms out. So I don't want you to think of it as a cheat. I want you to think of it as it's just making your arms longer, because maybe the yogini next to you has nice long arms that they can use for binding. But believe me, there's something that you can probably accomplish better than that, yogini. We all have our things that we're good at and our things that we more struggle with. It doesn't matter. Using the props to help us and always practicing with that respect for the body, listening to the feedback of the body, and heeding it when it tells you to stop. Let's take one more nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, and release. We'll stay in crocodile pose, but we'll add in a hip opener of half frog. So you can lift your head up enough so that maybe you can look. You're going to pull your right knee up towards your right elbow. So the knee stays attached to the earth. You can think about it as 90 degrees out from your body. And if you flex the toes, that's absolutely fine, but you don't have to do that. Then you can bring your forehead back down for a moment. So half frog is externally rotating that right hip. Just a little bit of a passive stretch. A really nice opener to start class with. Beautiful. And then we'll go ahead and lengthen the right leg out back long, and then we'll bend into the left knee this time. Bringing the left knee up towards that left elbow. Again, flexing the toes, optional if you'd like. Feel free to do so. You can bring the forehead back down. And maybe right away you start to notice on this left side, it feels a little different than the right. That's absolutely normal. No, it's always okay to take a different variation of a posture or asana on each side, using the props to help you. None of us are built symmetrically, so you'll always find that as you're moving through your practice. Just take note of it. Not using it for judgment, just using it for information. So we externally rotate that left hip. We're letting the inner thigh start to open up, the groin, the hip flexors. Beautiful. And then we'll lengthen that left leg out long onto the mat. Bring the arms out into a cactus shape here. We're going to take a little stretch for the shoulders to start. It'll depend on how your shoulders are, how much you want to take this. I do want the shoulders either at 90-degree angles, or you can even bring the hands a little bit farther forward. Bend into the knees, so let the feet come up towards the sky. And then very slowly just begin to windshield wipe the legs back and forth. And then as you do this, if it feels okay, I want you to think almost as if you had a scorpion tail. So maybe you let your left leg go long and let the right toes land down behind you. You can let the left temple come down onto the earth and take a little stretch into that left shoulder. And then you'll gently switch it to the other side. Take your time here. So left toes down behind you. The bottom knee can stay bent on the earth. It doesn't really matter. And just take this a couple of times back and forth. So this is stretching the front of the chest, the pec, maybe the armpit area. And again, if it doesn't feel good in your shoulders, don't take it as far. Beautiful. Once you've taken an even amount, come back to center. Let the legs go out long behind you. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up. Bring the knees wide, big toes touch. We're going to find child's pose. Let the hips come back onto the heels. Reach the fingertips forward. If you can, let's keep this a little bit more active here. So the forehead could land down, but keep the fingertips reaching forward towards the front of your mat. Stretching out the sides of the body here. Let this feel good. Soften a little bit into the hips. Press into the hands. Just gently lift the head up. We're going to find thread the needle. So let that left arm come underneath the right. Come down onto the left shoulder, left temple. A little stretch for the outside of the shoulder, kind of underneath the shoulder blade. The right arm can reach forward, or you could bring it behind the back in a half bind if you'd like. We'll find this half bind in different ways today. So the back of your hand is near your sacrum in the half bind, and you keep the elbow in towards the body. Releasing that half bind if you've taken it. Reach the right arm back forward. Press into it and then bring the left arm forward to meet the right. We'll take the other side. This time the right arm underneath the left, thread the needle, coming down on that right temple. Again, left fingertips can reach forward, or you could bring them around the back, thumb facing down, back of the hand to the sacrum. And again, the elbow is in close to the body, so we don't need to have the elbow jutting way out. Keep the elbow in close to the body here. You can feel the stretch in the outer shoulder, perhaps underneath the shoulder blade. Releasing that half bind if you've taken it. Reach that left arm back forward, press into your hand, and then the right hand meets the left. Find child's pose again. From here, begin to rise up, but then bring the elbows down. So we're going to find a forearm tabletop. So the knees are underneath the hips, but in this variation, the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Palms and forearms are pressing down into the earth. As you inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up, cow pose. Exhale, chin to chest, press the earth away, round the spine, cat. Inhale, drop the belly, tailbone lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, chin to chest, really round the spine. Tilt the tailbone down towards the mat. Take a couple more rounds of this on your own breath. Notice that it feels a little bit different than regulation tabletop. Maybe you get a little bit less movement in the spine. Maybe you'd like to speed it up or slow it down. It's up to you. Taking one more round, and then we'll meet in our neutral tabletop. We're going to find a half Anahata Asana or half puppy dog pose. So here, the knees and the hips stay in one line. So the booty's going to stay in the air. So I'll show this from the side as well. But bring your right forearm across the mat and then reach your left arm forward. And you can let the forehead come down onto the forearm. So puppy dog pose or Anahata Asana, but just taking it one side at a time. So feeling into that left shoulder as you come down. Maybe the chin comes down, maybe the chest. It doesn't really matter. Just take a couple of breaths here. Notice how it feels different in this shape when we take it one side at a time. Beautiful. And then gently rise up. We're going to switch this out. This time I'll show it from the side. So reach the left forearm forward, press the palm down. So the hips stay over the heel. Use the forearm for the forehead if you would like. You can always walk that left hand out a little bit away from your body to the side. So more towards the left, and you might find that that changes the stretch. A little play with this here. See what feels good in your body. Couple breaths here. Ardha Anahata Asana. And then gently begin to rise up. This time we're going to find regular tabletop. So the wrists are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. Here, just wag the hips back and forth a couple of times. Maybe take a couple barrel rolls of the belly if it feels good. Shake it out for a moment. Do make sure your strap is nearby. We're going to use it in a moment. First, we're going to get into the hips here. So coming back to our neutral tabletop, as you inhale, lift your right leg high. So right leg is reaching towards the back of your mat. Flex the toes so that they're facing the earth. Inhale, reach that right leg long. As you exhale, knee to nose, curl it in. As you inhale, hover the right knee next to the left. And then exhale, lift that right leg out to the side. So some people call this fire hydrant pose. Inhale, lower it down, and then exhale, we're going to donkey kick it up. So kick your heel up towards the sky. And then inhale, reach your right leg long. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. As you exhale, knee to nose, curl it in. Inhale, hover the right knee down. Exhale, open it out to the side. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, donkey kick it up. Activate the glute. Inhale, lengthen long. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, hover it down. Exhale, lift it out to the side. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, donkey kick it up. Inhale, reach the right leg long. This time we're going to kick it all the way out to the side and let the foot land down. So think warrior 2 in your right foot. We're going to find gate pose, but with the strap. So walk your hands in towards your body, take the strap with you, and as you inhale, rise up, arms up over the top of the head, and exhale, hands to heart. Find your strap, and you can double it up if you would like. So we're going to get into the shoulders a little bit here. And always know that if your shoulders are a little bit tricky, the wider you bring your hands on the strap, the easier it's going to be. So you can start at shoulder width distance, but you might find that eventually you need to bring your hands a little bit wider. Inhale, reach that strap up over the top of the head. Put a little tension in between the 2 hands. And exhale, lower it down. We'll do that again. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, lower it down. One more time like this. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, lower it down. Beautiful. Inhale, lift it up high again. This time as you exhale, find cactus arms. Just bend into the elbows. Bring the strap behind the back of the head. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, find those cactus arms. Inhale, lift it up. One more time. Exhale, find the cactus arms. Again, you still have the tension in between the hands. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, lower it down. You can set the strap off to the side. Bring the hands back onto the mat. We're going to have an option to find half child's pose here. So the right leg stays out. You begin to sink the hip back onto the left heel. Maybe you don't come all the way back. Maybe you do. Ardha Balasana, half child's pose. So this is a nice stretch, external rotation. We're stretching out the inner groin as well. Beautiful, yogis. Gently press back into your hands, rise back up into your tabletop. We're going to find that three-legged tabletop again. So bring that right leg back. I'm going to turn to the side to show you this last stretch. So the right leg is reaching back. Bend into the knee and bring either the top of the foot into the left instep or kind of the top of the, like where the ankle meets the shin. Fit that into your left instep and then let your right knee come down. So this can be very intense, so you might not come all the way back. You can also use the blocks underneath the hands if you need. Begin to walk back and see if you can sit your hip down onto that heel. So what this does is this presses into the bottom of the sole of the left foot. So this is really good if you've ever had problems with plantar fasciitis. This kind of breaks up some scar tissue there, and you can kind of move this around to see how it feels, but it should feel pretty intense. But again, if it's too much for you, you can always put your weight into blocks underneath your arms so that it takes a little bit of weight off the foot. We'll just stay here for a couple more breaths, feeling this out. Releasing that, bring the hands back forward, uncross the feet, and just tap the tops of the feet into the mat to kind of release that one. Beautiful. Coming back to your neutral tabletop, we'll take the other side. As you inhale, lift that left leg up. Again, the toes are pointing towards the earth. As you inhale, take the left leg long. As you exhale, knee to nose, curl it in. Inhale, hover the left knee down. As you exhale, open it out to the side. Find fire hydrant. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, donkey kick it up. Feel it right underneath the glutes. Inhale, lengthen the leg long. As you exhale, knee to nose. Curl in. Inhale, hover that left knee down. As you exhale, open it out. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, donkey kick it up. One more time. Inhale, lengthen the leg long. As you exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, hover it down. Exhale, open it out to the side. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, donkey kick it up. Inhale, reach it long. And then we turn that left leg all the way out to the side and let that left foot down, land down onto the mat. And again, we're looking for warrior two in that left foot. Coming towards gate pose, again, taking our strap with us. Walk your hands back in towards your body and then begin to rise up. Find your strap right away. Again, find your shoulder width distance, but know in this one we might need more space. If the shoulders are clicking or popping or you're having to do a weird rotation to get around them, I definitely want you to widen your hands. As you inhale, reach the arms up over the top of the head. As you exhale again, we'll find those cactus arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, find your cactus. Inhale, reach up. Tension between the hands. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we'll lower it down. We're going to go for the full rotation. Again, this might be when you need to widen the hands. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, bring them around your back. You can see I need to widen my strap. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower it down. We'll take this a couple of times. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bring it back and around. Your own rotation of your own shoulders. So you can widen your hands for a moment, and then if it becomes easy, then bring the hands more narrow and continue on. But again, I want it to be a smooth roll back. So no weird popping in the shoulders, no pain for sure. Take this a couple more times. It's a really good opener for the shoulders. We're waking everything up, knowing that we're going to need that today. Beautiful. After your next one, go ahead and bring your hands down. Set the strap to the side. And then hands down, and again, we find that half child's pose. So the leg stays out, you bring the hip down towards that right heel, and maybe it doesn't get all the way down there, wherever it works for you for Ardha Balasana. Couple breaths here. Beautiful yogis. Gently begin to rise up. You're going to lift that left leg up and kick it to the back. And again, I'll show you from the side. We're going to find that stretch for the bottom or sole of the foot. So bend into the left knee and again, fit either the top of the left foot or kind of where the ankle and the leg meet into the sole of the foot. Let that left knee touch down and then begin to walk the hands back. Again, knowing that this can feel very different, whether you're on your left or right side, depending on your feet. Move it around a little bit. So it should feel intense. There should be some sensation here. This is absolutely miserable. Remember, you can bring blocks underneath your hands, but this is really good to break up the scar tissue in the bottom of the feet. So we stand on our feet all day. We ask our feet to work for us constantly, but we don't take a lot of time to care for the bottoms of our feet. So this can be intense at first, but it really is helping to kind of break up that shell of the foot that we can cause by overuse. A couple more breaths here. We'll release that, bringing the hands forward again, uncross the knees, and then tap out the tops of the feet. You can tuck the toes for a moment too, if that feels good. One round of cow and cat here. As you inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up. And exhale, chin to chest. Press the earth away. Coming back to your neutral spine, for most of us, we walk our hands, maybe one hand print forward, tuck the toes, bend the knees, and begin to lift the hips up into downward facing dog. Now what's the word? Be slow here. Don't be in a rush to straighten your legs. Keep your knees bent for a moment here and just kind of keep this buoyant. So keep the knees bent and just kind of press your chest back towards your thighs. Let your head and neck relax. The ears are maybe even with the biceps. Then you can begin to straighten your legs if you'd like, maybe pedaling the feet out one at a time, letting the heels come down towards the earth. Feeling into your first downward facing dog. Try to use the whole palm down onto the earth. Also, even the fingertips are pressing down into the mat. Fingers are spread as wide apart as feels good in your body. Beautiful yogis. From here, lift the heels up, come up onto the tiptoes, look forward, and take a lot of little steps to get to the top of the mat. We'll take our first forward fold. Bend into the knees here. Let the chest and the thighs connect. Hands could be on the earth, or you could find opposite elbows if you'd like. Find ragdoll pose. Keep that nice bend in the knees to begin. So letting the hamstrings, the back of the legs, start to open up without overdoing it. We do plenty to stretch them during the day, or during our practice and during the day. Oftentimes we overuse them because we tend to fold forward quite often. We're just giving them a chance to warm up, not overdoing it here. If you're a little bit more open, always feel free to cross the arms, hold on to the opposite ankles, or even behind the back of the shins, or behind the back of the legs onto the shins for a little bit more. Beautiful. And then find Uttanasana, forward fold. We'll have a different variation of Ardha Uttanasana or halfway lift that we can take today. We're going to find airplane arms here. So try it out if you'd like. As you inhale, lift your body halfway up and then lift your arms up. So thumbs are going to point out, palms down. So you can kind of think of these as airplane arms, but the palms are facing down and the thumbs are away from the body. So I'll give this option to take halfway lift today throughout the whole practice, but feel free to skip it if you don't like it. Exhale and fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Reach the arms up over the top of the head. Connect the palms. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Beautiful. Continuing to warm up here in the shoulders. As you inhale, circle the arms up. As you exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, bring the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers if you can. If you can't, you've got this strap that you can use or whatever you're using for a strap. Interlace the hands and again, turn the thumbs out and the palms forward if you're using the strap. Otherwise, the palms are together. Now here, I want you to imagine, keep your fists onto your sacrum to begin. So open the chest up first, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Then start to drop the shoulders down away from the ears, maybe even roll them back. Now you can begin to lift that fist away any amount from the sacrum to take it a little bit deeper. Beautiful. Now you can keep the bind or you can release it. Bend into the knees and begin to fold forward. Forward fold. And you can let that fist come any amount over the top of your head if you'd like. You could keep the palms together or you could let them separate. Let your shoulders be your guide. Releasing the bind, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Again, that option to take that variation, arms reaching back, thumbs out. Exhale and fold. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. We'll find a supported high lunge here. As you inhale, chest comes forward, look forward. As you exhale, straighten your front leg any amount. Find pyramid pose, modified pyramid. You can always have blocks here underneath the hands. The back heel can be lifted as far as you need. Just take a couple moments here in this first fold, deepening the stretch in the back of the leg. And then rebend into your right knee, look forward. Left hand down, reach your right arm up. Easy twist. Just opening the chest up here. Inhale. As you exhale, right hand comes down onto the earth. Let the right foot come back to meet the left. Find downward facing dog. From here, inhale, roll forward into your high plank. Now let's set this first one up. So the wrists are underneath the shoulders, the collarbones stay wide. Try to make sure that your heels are right over your toes. Navel is into the spine. We're working the whole body here. Inhale here. As you exhale, drop the knees down, untuck the toes. Come forward with the shoulders, bend the elbows towards the toes, and then lower all the way down. So elbows stay right by the sides as you lower down onto your mat. Forehead down, hands underneath the shoulders. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. We're going to find Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana, a couple variations. As you inhale, lift your head and chest and heart up. Baby Cobra. Exhale, slowly lower down. We'll take that again. As you inhale, rise up, Cobra Pose. Hug those elbows in. Grab the fingertips onto the earth. And exhale, lower down. This variation, take your hands out a little bit farther and then tense your hands up. So you're lifting your palms up, fingertips touch down. As you inhale, rise up any amount. And then if it feels good, as you exhale, begin to bend the elbows and let the chest come down, but let the elbows stay lifted. So this oftentimes can be a stretch for kind of the front of the armpit area. It feels good in some people's bodies. Feel free to twist it a little bit, maybe left shoulder down, look over the right, right shoulder, look over the left, or just stay in the center. A couple more breaths here. Beautiful. And then we gently all lower down, hands underneath the shoulders. Press into the hands. We're going to come back to find child's pose. So knees wide, big toes touch. Child's pose. Begin to walk the hands back in towards the knees. Lift up enough so that you can tuck your toes. Keep your heels together. Keep walking your hands back in towards your body and see if you can just lift your knees up off of the earth. So we're in kind of a little yogi squat variation here, but the heels and toes are together. The heels are definitely lifted. The knees are out. You can fold forward here if that feels good in your body, or just opening the hips. Sometimes this is called surrender. Beautiful. And then from here, look forward. Continue to walk your hands forward and just find downward facing dog. From here, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. We bend the knee and open the hip. So let that right heel come towards the left glute. The right knee points towards the ceiling. Turn the right shoulder down. Now feel free to circle the hip if you would like, or you can stay static. It's completely up to you. And then inhale, reach the right leg long. As you exhale, knee to nose, look forward, step the right foot in between the hands at the front of the mat. Left hand down, reach your right arm up. Easy twist. We've been here before. From here, we have the option to take an outer hip stretch. So we're going to take it into horizon lunge. Be careful here. Let the right hand come down towards the sacrum, and then turn yourself down onto the left heel. So both toes are going to point out to the right. You can move this foot back a little bit if you would like. You can reach the right arm back up. You can stay lifted, or you can begin to come down a little bit if that feels good in your body. Just take a couple breaths in your horizon lunge. Right fingertips can always reach towards the back of the mat as well. And then as you inhale, press yourself up. We're going to come back to that supported high lunge. Left heel lifted, and then step the left foot up to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Take that airplane variation if you would like. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up over the top of the head. And exhale, hands to heart center. Release the arms down. Inhale, reach them up. As you exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, bring the hands behind the back or find a strap. Find that bind. Press the palms together. Again, thumbs are close to the sacrum to start. Shoulders down. Squeeze the shoulder blades first, and then begin to open the chest and maybe lift that fist away. Option to bend the knees and keep the bind or release it. Find forward fold. Releasing that bind, hands to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift the arms if you would like. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. And again, we find our supported high lunge. Blocks underneath the hands here are absolutely necessary sometimes, and that's fine. Inhale, chest forward, look forward. As you exhale, straighten your legs any amount. Find modified pyramid pose. Back heel can be lifted. Feel that deep stretch in the back of the hamstring on the left leg. Beautiful. Rebend into that left knee. Inhale, come forward. Right hand down, reach the left arm up. Find easy twist. Inhale here. As you exhale, left hand comes down onto the mat. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Find downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into high plank. This time it's up to you. Knees can be up, or you can bring them down and untuck the toes. We're going to lower all the way to the belly. On your exhale, lower down. Keep the elbows in close. Think of yourself as a plank of wood, either way. Untuck the toes, hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, rise up, cobra pose. And exhale, lower down 3 times. Inhale, lift up, cobra pose, maybe a little bit higher. And exhale, lower down. Now feel free to take another cobra, or if you'd like, I give the option for Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or upward facing dog. So moving the hands down the rib cage a little bit more towards the waist. As you inhale, straighten the arms and lift up dog. So only the palms of the hands and the tops of the feet are touching down. See if you can really bring your chest through and forward. For some people, this is too much. And if it is, then you find cobra pose. Inhale. As you exhale, knees down, again, we find our child's pose. So sit back onto the heels. Couple breaths here. Again, that variation, walking the hands back towards the knees. Lift up enough so that you can tuck the toes under, and then put weight into the hands and lift the knees up. So again, the knees are wide, the heels and toes are touching to the best of your ability here. And you can find whatever variation if you'd like. If you'd like to walk the hands a little forward, like to work on opening the hips, maybe you'd like to lift up and practice your balance. Taking what serves you. We're really working on opening up the inner groin. Beautiful yogis. From here, we look forward. Just walk your hands forward and again, find downward facing dog. And as you're ready, inhale, lift the left leg up this time, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Again, the left knee points towards the ceiling, the left heel towards the right glute. You can find movement or stillness here, maybe a couple of hip circles. Can you check in and try to make sure your left shoulder stays turned down towards the mat? As you inhale, reach your left leg long. As you exhale, left knee to nose, look forward, step the left foot in between the hands. Right hand down, lift your left arm up, easy twist. Again, we have the option for horizon lunge here. So you can bring the left hand down if you would like, come onto the knife edge of the right foot, turn both sets of toes out to the left, and you can walk this left foot back a little bit here. You could reach the right arm up if you would like. You can stay lifted. You can reach the arm over the top of the head, or you can start to sink down a little bit if that feels good. It's a stretch for the outer hip. Just find what works in your body, and if it doesn't, feel free to skip it. As you inhale, come all the way up and around. Bring your hands forward. Turn your right heel up. Left toes point forward. Step the right foot up to meet the left. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms up over the top of the head. As you exhale, hands to heart center. Again, Samasthiti. Beautiful. Release the arms down by the side. Feet can be together or hips width distance. We find chair pose. Bend into the knees. Reach your arms forward to begin. Try to tilt the tailbone down. Keep the core engaged. Inhale here. And as you exhale, we find traditional airplane arms. So this time the palms are up. The thumbs are in towards the body. So you can stay exactly where you are with the airplane arms, or if you'd like, bring the backs of the hands to the sacrum or to each side of the sits bones on the back or the back hip bones. Bring the hands somewhere on the back side of your body. Beautiful. And then we'll bring the hands to heart center. We're going to do a little bit of work here for the hips. So if this is too much for you, feel free to skip it. Press down through the right foot and start to get light on that left heel. Inhale here. As you exhale, hug the left knee in and lower it down. Inhale. Exhale, lift it up. Lower it down. Inhale. Exhale, lift it up. Lower it down. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to step the left toes back. Keep it light and then bring them back forward. Left toes back. Bring them back forward. One more time. Inhale, step them back. Exhale, bring them forward. This time, inhale, step them back, leave them back. Find your high crescent lunge. Bend into that right knee. Left heel is lifted here. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, bring the hands around, and again, find that bind if you'd like. Maybe the opposite thumb is on top. Take a little stretch here for a moment. Inhale. And then as you exhale, release your bind. We're going to find warrior two. So perhaps widen the stance a little bit here. The back heel is or the back foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. So the left toes are pointing towards the front or towards the left side of your mat. Bend a little bit deeper into that right knee. Bring your hands onto your hips for a moment. See if you can lift all 10 toes up off of the earth and feel how that feels. Pressing the center of the foot down. And then let the toes come down onto the earth. And imagine you could lift the center of the instep off of the earth. So the soles of the feet lift up a little bit. And then inhale, reach your arms long. Look down your right fingertips. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. Inhale. As you exhale, side angle, right forearm onto the right thigh, left fingertips reaching up. So you can stay here, or we have the option to take the half bind. So bring the hand around the body, thumb facing down. Bring the back of the hand to the sacrum. You can stay exactly here where you are. You can also bring the right hand down a little bit deeper if you would like. Have a nice bend in that right knee. Release that bind if you've taken it. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, left hand comes down onto the mat. Walk the left hand to center. Toes in, heels out. This is wide-legged forward fold. Now we're gently going to bring the heels in and let the toes turn out. So we're going to change that a little bit, and we're going to take high skater. So very gently just begin to bend into your right or left knee. It doesn't matter which side you do first. Come to center and then other side. So just back and forth a couple of times here, letting this feel good in the hips. Beautiful. And then we gently come to center, parallel the feet, bring the hands onto the hips. Inhale, lift up halfway, and then rise all the way up. We'll find triangle pose. So turn the right toes towards the front of the mat. Left hand is on the sacrum for this first variation. Lift the right arm up. Right hand either comes onto the shin or a block on the outside of your right leg for triangle pose. Lengthen the spine here. So lengthen the crown of the head forward. And then if you'd like, begin to lift the left arm up. So opening that triangle up a little bit more here. Inhale. As you exhale, left hand comes down onto the earth. Turn your left heel up, bend into the front knee. Walk the hands to the inside of the right foot. So we're going to find lizard lunge. So hands are on the inside of that right foot. Now we have options here. You can bring the left knee down and untuck the toes and just hang out in lizard. You could always come down onto your elbows if you'd like. Or if you'd like to keep it a little bit more active, keep the back toes tucked, and maybe you slide your right arm underneath your right leg and take it out to the side, tenting the fingertips. The left hand can come out to the other side as well. So just playing with this little bit of a variation here. Pressing the shoulder into the right leg and the right leg into the shoulder here, maybe feeling it a little bit more in the hip. Take a breath here. Wherever you are, we meet back in lizard pose. Tuck the back toes if you need to. Lift the back knee. Step the front foot back to meet the back. Find downward facing dog. You can stay here, or if you'd like, option to take a vinyasa. Inhale, roll forward. As you exhale, lower either halfway or all the way down, chaturanga. As you inhale, find your back bend, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, and release. Inhale, look forward, prepare. Exhale, and then walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, taking that variation if you'd like. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up over the top of the head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Again, the toes can be together or the feet can be separated here. Inhale, reach the arms forward. And then exhale, find those airplane arms, traditional airplane arms with the palms facing up, the thumbs in towards the body. Now you can just bring the back of the hands to the body here again, or maybe you even hold on to opposite elbows if you would like. Beautiful. Take a couple breaths here, bend in just a little bit deeper, keeping the core engaged. Releasing the hands, bringing the hands to heart center. Again, a little bit of that footwork. So lift that right heel up and start to get light onto that right foot. Keep a nice deep bend in the left knee. Inhale here. As you exhale, lift that right knee into the chest. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, lower it down. Beautiful. Exhale, step it back. Keep it light. Inhale, step it forward. Exhale, step it back. Inhale, step it forward. Exhale, step it back. Inhale, step it forward. Last time, as you exhale, step it back. This time it stays back. And then inhale, rise up. High crescent lunge. The good news is we're only doing that once today. So the right heel is lifted. Bend deeply into the left knee. Inhale here. As you exhale, cactus your arms. Bringing the arms around the back. Again, interlace the fingers if you would like. Inhale, stretch. And then as you exhale, release the hands, open it up, warrior two. Widen the stance a little bit here if you would like. Again, hands to hips. This time, straighten the front leg and see if you can lift that front left hip point up a little bit. And then rebend into the knee. Notice if anything feels different in your warrior two. Reach your arms long. Look down the left fingertips. Flip the front palm. Reverse the warrior. Inhale. As you exhale, side angle, Parsvakonasana, bringing the left forearm onto the left thigh. The right fingertips reach up. Lots of options here. You could find Uttita Parsvakonasana, reaching the right fingertips forward. Or you have the option to take the half bind, thumb down, hand behind the back of the hand to the sacrum, turning the shoulders open. You always have the option to bring that left hand down onto the earth if you would like. Inhale, release the bind, reach the right arm up. And again, the right hand comes down. We walk the hands to center, parallel the feet, and then a little bit heels in, toes out. Again, we find that high skater pose. So bending into one knee at a time, left and right. Coming in a little bit deeper if that feels good in your body. You can go really slow here or really fast. Just whatever feels good for you. Beautiful. And once you've taken that equal number, come back to center, parallel the feet. Hands are underneath the shoulders and then hands onto the hips. This is halfway lift. And then we inhale, rise all the way up. You can bring the feet a little closer together. We're going to find Trikonasana or triangle pose. So turn the left toes towards the front of the mat, right hand onto the sacrum. So the middle finger is pointing down. Kind of think of it as following your tailbone down. Left arm reaches up. And then left arm reaches forward, come into triangle. Again, the shin or even the thigh can be a good place for triangle. If you're using a block, bring it to the outside of your left foot. Yes. Turn the pose open a little bit, and if you'd like, you could reach the right arm up. Inhale and expand in triangle pose. And then you exhale, the right hand comes down, bend into the left knee. Turn the right heel up, and then we walk the hands to the inside of that left foot, again finding lizard lunge. So we have our options here. Feel free to bring the knee down, untuck the toes, or if you'd like to get a little bit more into the shoulders, again, tuck that left arm behind the left leg, and then see if you can walk the left hand out. The right hand can come out as well. So you kind of think of this as you're wearing your leg as a backpack. Again, pressing the shoulder into the inside of the shin or the calf and pressing the calf back into the shoulder here, just to kind of ignite everything. We all meet back in lizard lunge. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee if you need to. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Find down dog. Again, you can wait here or feel free to take a vinyasa of your choice. Beautiful yogis. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth. Exhale and release. We have one more round of flow here. As you inhale, look forward, prepare. Come up high onto the toes. Exhale first, and then walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms up over the top of the head. And exhale, hands to heart center. Now in this round, we will have the choice to do a full bind. So have your strap handy if you know you're going to want it. And we all meet in chair pose. Bend into those knees. Inhale, reach the hands forward. As you exhale, airplane the arms. Beautiful. Again, you can bring the hands, the back of the hands to the back, or you could find opposite elbows here. Get light in that left heel. Begin to kick that left leg back. See how long you can take. So think about almost coming through warrior 3 for a breath. Then let the left toes land down. Release the bind. Inhale, rise up, high crescent. As you exhale, bring the hands around the back. Find your bind for a moment. Stretch. Inhale here. And then exhale, release, reach the arms up, find warrior 2. Bend a little bit deeper into that front knee, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, inhale. As you exhale again, we find side angle. So we have lots of options here. We could have a block here on the inside of the foot and we could just stay here. We could work on the half binds. If you would like to work on the full bind, and you don't quite have it yet, take the strap in your left hand around your back, and then reach your right arm underneath your right leg and see if you can locate the strap or maybe the hand. If you found the full bind, you can play there. If you'd like to work towards bird of paradise, look towards your right toes, bend into the left knee and begin to inch that left foot forward. It doesn't have to come all the way. The right foot can also step back a bit to meet the left. Now you've got your right heel lifted here, and maybe you stay here. If you'd like to work into bird of paradise, keep that bend in the left knee and begin to rise up. Working on your balance. Once you come all the way up, you could lengthen that leg out long if you would like. So you've got the bind behind the back. I'll show you this way too, although it'll be opposite of you. Depending on where your hamstring is, depends on how much you can straighten your leg. You can see mine doesn't come completely straight, and that's okay. When you're done playing with whatever variation you're in, come back into side angle first. Release all of your binds and then hands down onto the mat. Walk them to the center. We find wide-legged forward fold this time. So toes in, heels out. Just relax, prasarita. You can bring your hands down onto the earth, maybe even the forearms. Maybe you walk your hands out here for a little wider legged downward dog, whatever feels good in your body. Bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. Look towards your right toes. Walk your hands to frame your right foot. Turn your left heel up. Inhale, lift your right leg up high. Three-legged dog. Feel free to shake it out a little bit here. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then inhale, reach the right leg long. As you exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, right knee, left elbow across the body, and then kick it out. Let the right knife edge of your foot come down. Now turn the left instep of the foot onto the earth, and then see if you can lift your left arm to the sky. So this is fallen triangle pose. Inhale here. As you exhale, just slowly begin to let your hips come down onto the earth. So we've come basically into a wide-legged seated position, or Upavishta Konasana, sometimes called dragonfly. So we're going to have some options here. We're going to take an outer hip stretch and a twist. So you guys would be facing towards the front of the mat. So your right hip is towards the front of the mat. I'll reorient myself here. So here are the options. The legs can stay straight here, but for a lot of people, this is too intense. You're going to walk your hands towards the top of the mat. Now, maybe you need to bend the knees, and feel free to do that. So you can find kind of like a 90-90 or a deer leg here, and then come down onto the elbows. And then maybe you do want to play with straightening those legs back out if that feels okay. So the difference is this is either deer twist or starfish twist. Starfish twist is the legs are long. Deer twist has the bent knees. And know that you can always have blocks underneath your elbows here. Taking whatever works for you. Definitely in twisting, you want to take care of the spine. If it doesn't feel good, twist less. For some of us, you can even come down a little bit farther for a moment. We'll just be here for a couple of breaths. If you folded down, begin to bring the hands underneath the shoulders. All of us bend our knees to come back here. And then we just come into a tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Pedal it out a couple of times here. You could take a vinyasa if you would like, or just wait in down dog. We have one more round of flow here. Inhale, look forward, prepare. Exhale, walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Gladly the last time for today, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit down into those heels, bend the knees. You can bring the arms around the back if you would like, but you don't have to. We can get light in that right heel, maybe hands come back to heart center and begin to send that right leg back. Like you're moving as slowly as possible, landing those right toes down eventually, and then inhale, rise up, high crescent. As you exhale, hands come around, interlace the fingers, maybe find a bind. Inhale here. Exhale, release, reach the arms up, and then find warrior two. Having the strap handy in case you need it here. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, inhale. As you exhale, side angle. Your variation here, lots of different choices. So maybe just the half bind. If you want to work towards the full bind with the strap, take the strap in the right hand to bring it around. Left arm underneath, and then thumb up. See if you can reach the strap or interlace the fingers here. If you find your way into the full bind and you'd like to play with bird of paradise, look forward to your left toes. Bend the right knee, begin to inch that right foot up. And then remember, the left foot can always come back to meet the right. Now, when I come up, I'll be opposite of you guys. Let that left heel lift up, and then keep a bend in your right knee as you slowly press into your right heel to begin to lift up. Might take a couple of times. You might fall over, that's okay. And then you would begin to straighten that left leg out any amount. Again, if your hamstrings are tight, it might not straighten all the way. Playing with whatever variation that you're in. Eventually, you slowly come back down if you've taken bird of paradise. Let's meet in that half or that side angle. Undo any bind that you've taken. And then we find that wide-legged forward fold to release. So walk the hands to the long edge of the mat, parallel the feet. Again, hands could walk out in front of you for just a nice stretched out downward dog. Hands could walk behind you if you would prefer. If you'd really like to take an inversion, you have about 5 breaths to do that. I won't cue it, but you know who you are. If you like that, go for it. Gently coming down. If you've chosen to invert, we all meet in halfway lift. Lengthen the spine. Look towards those left toes. Walk the hands to frame the left foot, right heel up. And then send that left leg back and up. Again, shake it out here for a moment if you'd like. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then inhale, reach that left leg long. As you exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, left knee across the body to the right elbow, and then kick the left foot out. So the knife edge of the foot is down. Now turn your right instep down onto the earth, And then lift your right arm up, fallen triangle pose. Let this feel good for a minute, expansive. Inhale. And then as you exhale, just lower your hips down. So again, we've come down into Upavishta Konasana. So we have those same variations again. I'm going to turn myself around so that you guys can see. So again, we want that hip to be towards the front of the mat, and again, it's the left hip this time. So if walking the hands around and keeping the legs straight is too much, that's when you bend the knees. And find a 90-90 or a deer leg, stag legs, bring yourself around, and then maybe coming down onto the elbows. For me, I like to come down with bent knees, and then I can start to straighten my legs out often. So your left leg would be pointing out to the side, and your right leg is straight back. If your legs are straight, whatever variation works for you. Again, you'll probably feel this really into the left outer hip, but it's also a twist. And so if it's too much, lessen the twist a little bit and definitely bend the knees here. Perhaps you come down onto a block. Perhaps you come all the way down onto the earth if you would like. Couple breaths. Coming up, if you have come down, hands underneath the shoulders, bend the knees for everyone. And then come into your tabletop position. One last time, just to rinse it out. Tuck the toes, come back into down dog. You can just pedal it out in down dog, or feel free to take a final vinyasa if you would like. We all meet in down dog. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, and release. Bringing the knees down onto the mat, walk the hands back, sit on the heels for a moment, and then sit to the side, kick your feet out in front of you. So just a couple of stretches here. We're nice and open as we're coming down. So let's find Baddha Konasana, or butterfly pose, seated. So bringing the soles of the feet together, and the heels can be in as close to the body as you want, or a little bit farther away. You can hold on to the outsides of the feet here. And I'm okay if you round the spine to come forward today. That's absolutely fine. We're just going to take this as a stretch for a moment. You could bounce the knees if that feels good to you. Maybe even reach underneath the legs to hold on to the feet for a variation of tortoise pose. So we've done quite a bit to open the hips today. So if bird of paradise is not quite there for you yet, we're going to try it on the floor today. So we're going to do bird on the floor. So this is a great way to kind of prepare and get your body ready to do it eventually when you're standing. All the same benefits, all the same work. We're just not having to stand, and we're taking a little bit of the balance out of it. But it's just as challenging, and it's a good way to sometimes work into it. So go ahead and gently rise up. You're going to hug your right leg in towards your body. So you can either take your forearms underneath your shin and kind of rock your leg back and forth, or you can take your arms around your right shin, kind of holding it like a baby here. This is kind of like usually called a pigeon stretch. And from here, we'll work into bird on the floor maybe. And again, you've got a strap. You might want to use it. So we're going to slide the right arm underneath the right leg. Take your left hand to the outside of your right foot and kind of work that leg up the shoulder a little bit. So you're almost wearing your leg as a backpack. It doesn't have to be super high for this variation that we're doing. Right hand comes down onto the earth, and then reach your left arm around your back. Thumb is down, and then as you come around, the back of the hand touches the back, so the thumb is up. And then thumb down here on the right hand and bring it around, thumb up, and then see if you can hold on. So this is the same thing we do in Bird of Paradise. We're just on the floor. You can work on lengthening the leg out. If you'd like a little challenge, you can see if you could lift your left leg up and maybe find kind of a floating bird on the floor. Beautiful. And then if all of that is easy for you, you can stay there, you can release it, or I will offer elephant's trunk. So if you'd like to move on, again, seeing if you can wear this as a backpack here, bring both hands onto the earth. So what we're going to do is attempt to lift off and then see if you can lift that left leg up. So a lot of times it's just about leverage. So you find your balance point of where that is to see if you can lift. And many times if you bend the leg, that can make it a little easier. You can lift up here. All right, so whatever you've taken, release it. And then let's lengthen the legs out and maybe a little massage here. And we'll prepare for the second side. So coming back into your Baddha Konasana. This time we're going to bring the left shin in. And again, the forearms can be underneath the shin first if that feels easier for you. Or you can reach the arms around the left leg and just rock it back and forth. And maybe you just stay here today. Maybe this feels good for you and you want to work here. This is such a good stretch for the outer hips. Wanting to play with bird on the floor, release that, and then let the left arm come underneath the left leg. Take the right hand to the outside of the foot and kind of press it back a little bit and then try to lift it up. Left arm comes out to the side, and then right arm around the body. Back of the hand touches the sacrum or the back of the body, and then bring that left arm around as well. And again, you have the option to have a strap here. Maybe you can hold on. So from here, you can straighten the left leg, or maybe you want to lift the right leg and work on a little balance. Bird on the floor. You can stay in any variation that you'd like, or again, I'll cue elephant's trunk. So try to work that leg up just a little bit more. And then bring the hands down, straightening that right leg out, and then seeing if you can lift up. Another variation of this that I'll show really quickly, if you have shorter arms, that doesn't make this easy for you. So feel free to have blocks underneath your hands to help you to lift up, and you could just play with that. When you're done playing with what you're playing with, go ahead and release. Let the legs lengthen out, and again, a little bouncing out of the knees, a little self-massage of the legs. And bend into the knees, plant the soles of the feet, hold on behind the back of the legs, and gently lower yourself down onto the mat. So we've done a lot of external rotation of the hips today. So let's bring the feet out a little wider towards the edges of the mat, and then let the knees tent in for a moment. Maybe one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. This is constructive rest. Beautiful yogis. And you can stay in constructive rest, or you could find your Shavasana if you would like. If you'd like to take any final postures, hugging the knees into the chest, or maybe taking a final twist, feel free to do so. And then just take a couple of moments in your Shavasana. So as you settle into your Shavasana, I will close out practice. I encourage you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you can, especially because you're practicing at home. Take a little bit of time for yourself in whatever variation of Shavasana feels good for you. Just letting everything relax, unhinge the jaw, let the wrinkles come out of the forehead, the tension in between the eyebrows. And as you release down into your Shavasana, I'll end this practice with a mantra. This is a pretty popular one. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Again, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Translates to may all beings everywhere be happy, free, healthy, and may the thoughts, words, actions of my own life in some way contribute to the happiness and freedom for all. Thank you for practicing with me, yogis. Namaste.